Hey guys, how we doing today?
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin?
Yeah. So the last episode of Mad Men was artistically very, very interesting. Stressful.
Yeah, I mean it was definitely different than anything else we've gotten because we had simultaneously running storylines that were kind of split out narratively. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was a nonlinear story, kind of Quentin Tarantino style, right?
Oh yeah.
Kind of like Pulp Fiction vibes, to where we revisit starting points with different characters.
Yeah. It wasn't flashy about it either. The flashiest parts of the show were probably the Roger sequence.
Right, where yeah,
Yeah.
where Roger and Jane take a little trip and decide to end their marriage. And yeah, there were moments in that I was like, I'm having a hard time following the reality of this, but I'm not really sure I'm supposed to be able to.
Yeah.
I really liked the episode a lot.
I enjoyed it too. It was
I
just it
like
was very tense.
Right. It was again. It kind of reminded me of like Reservoir Dogs, right? And we're getting
Sure.
kind of the same events from different perspectives a little bit,
Yes.
because they all were. It was all kind of revolving around Roger gets an idea for a trip to
Mm-hmm.
the Howard Johnson for a pitch, which basically is just a corporate boondoggle to
Yeah.
charge a client to get out of town for the weekend.
Yeah.
It was a party idea for Roger, and it ends up being something completely different for Peggy because of that, for Roger because of that, and especially for
Don and
for
Megan.
for Don and Megan because
Yeah.
of that. Well, I mean, I guess Roger more so than anybody. He
Sure.
and decided in his marriage in that time.
I think we're headed there with Don and Megan as well. It was interesting because obviously we had the trip that Roger and
Right.
Jane went on, and it ends them laying on the floor.
Exactly the same way that Megan and Don do after they fight. Right?
Yes, they're
Definite
paralleling each
Yeah,
other.
definite foreshadowing of where Don and Megan are headed.
They parallel one another in several ways. I mean,
Sure.
these are both two secretaries that married these men, and they married them out of, I mean, let's face it, boredom and impulse.
I mean, it was definitely impulsive, right? Because
Well, Roger more so
well,
boredom.
you're talking for the men, not the women, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's
Yeah, yeah, definitely impulse, and probably because they had nothing else going on,
and it's
right?
a little predatory. It really is.
No, it is, but just because of the. I mean, at the time this wasn't a thing, but we understand now
Yeah.
just the power imbalance
Yeah.
of the partner, the boss at the company, and his employee, right?
And these women have their own agency. They're
Sure.
they're pretty tough. I like Jane a lot. I kind of wish we got more from the show. I understand why we don't. It's not
Right.
her show. It's not Roger's show. So it makes sense that she's a side character, a background character.
Well, sorry, I kind of took it as she's kind of reminds me a little bit of the in a positive way, Betty and Joan and Peggy a little bit, in that the rules of the world that women are set in, they have limited means of fighting the battles, right?
Yes.
And when Jane got fired, her one thing that she could turn back to was the fact that Roger was infatuated with her,
Sure, yeah.
and she used it to her advantage. And I don't fault her
It
for
was
that.
good play.
Yeah, it was a good play. I kind of feel like Betty needed to get away from Dawn, and
She
Henry
did.
was the way to do it, right? She didn't have really agency to just leave him.
No.
So you play with the cards that you're dealt.
Sure.
And obviously Peggy and Joan have different cards, right?
Big time.
They have professional
Big time.
talent, right? That they get to use. Peggy gets to blow off a meeting, or struggle with the meeting, or blow up at a client, and keep her job because Peggy is valuable as an employee.
And also, like, they're just different,
Right, for sure.
than those two women, right?
Right.
Like those women. I don't want to say they live a life of privilege. Betty certainly does.
Betty,
or has.
yeah, we don't know about Jane, but we
Uh,
know Betty's lived a life of privilege. Jane's just might be, I'm very, very attractive.
Joan and Peggy though, they're grinders, man.
They are.
They
They are.
work. They're in the streets, and not like that, but like they're out in the trenches, like
Right.
doing the hard work. And
Which is interesting because at least for Joan, and this isn't anything to diminish Peggy at all, but it's pretty clear that Joan could have just married a rich guy and been set at any point.
I'm in love with Joan.
I'm telling
love her
you,
so much.
There-
She's
yeah. Like, well, and again, that's not sliding Peggy, but we've had guys come in like on sales pitches
Yeah.
that were like, "Who's that?" You know what I mean? She could have easily
She's
just married somebody and stopped.
Peggy's easily top 5 smartest people in the office. Like
She's great.
Peggy's amazing.
Peggy's brilliant, and she's a hard worker for sure.
What I'm trying to make
She
here.
struggles with her personal life, but then again, who doesn't on this show?
Now, another thing we highlighted in that last episode is that Don is abusive. He's not necessarily physically abusive, but he is mentally abusive.
No, he is. Yeah, he's
AF. Like, he is the
it
worst.
reminds me a lot of Henrik Gibson's A Doll's House, right? In that
Okay,
in
yep.
that what he wants out of a wife is a kept woman to do what he says when he says it.
Yes.
He's not going to beat him. He's not going to tell him they're a bad person.
Yes.
But just as long as they're playing ball the way he needs, he's going to be really nice to him. And if they're not, he's going to be withholding and cruel.
Well, somebody on Patreon pointed this out too, is that how Don has lack of self control. He does,
Right.
and it's almost like because he can't control himself, he tries to control these women.
Yeah, so
he has some form of control in his life
for sure. He needs the world to conform to him because he can't conform to the world at all.
And like you said, that last episode reminded you of Reservoir Dogs. I got like a flashback to Raging Bull or something with that fight they were having. I'm like, oh
yeah, it was
God,
nuts. Yeah. Him. I mean, I know he wasn't trying to hurt; he was just trying to corral her. But it still let her go, man.
Ultra aggressive.
No, it was.
Terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. And if she wants to go be in the bedroom and not talk to you because she's very furious with you, she gets to do that. You can't kick the door down and grab her and throw her to the floor that you can have the conversation when you want to have it, how you want to have it. Yeah,
it was that moment of her being like, "It's all right," when she's like holding on to him, even though everybody knows it's not all right. You know,
no, it's not all right. And I think the fact that what Don has mastered is what a lot of abusive guys master, is that idea of I'm terrible to you, and then when I feel bad and I become self-abusive about it, then you coddle me and you feel better about the fact that you're coddling me and I'm telling you how much I love you and how sorry I am. And that's the winning moment, right? We covered that in Barry, right?
We did,
with Sally's ex-husband, right?
Oh yeah,
you stay for the apology.
Sam?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Oh,
and we kind of got to see that play out with Dawn towards Megan here, and I think the cracks in Dawn are actually bigger now than ever, and I think we're heading for a fall. Like we saw last season, him trying swimming, cut back to drinking, journaling. I'm trying to be a better person, a better father. I'm not hooking up with every woman I get a chance to hook up with. He's doing all of that, and it's like it's just a matter of time, man. The harder he resists his truly broken nature, the more it's going to yank him right back in, and it seems to be that's what is happening now.
It's almost like you want him to be single, that way he's not hurting anybody else. It's rough.
Yeah, Megan, I don't think Megan understands because she didn't know him. She knew Work Dawn. And Vacation Dawn.
She liked the idea.
Right, yeah. She knew Work Dawn, powerful, successful hot guy, and then she knew, Super Dad on Vacation. But there's a lot to know about a person, a lot of layers, a lot of nuance, a lot of colors that she just didn't know, and she's just now finding out. And I don't think she realizes, maybe she's starting to see the things that Betty saw in Dawn, which isn't great.
And it's funny that we're getting more empathy for Betty as the show.
I think it's more like, well, keep in mind, like we weren't very far removed from Betty going off on Glenn and firing Carla.
We had our reasons. No,
I stand by them. I don't think Betty's.
I just edited that episode, and I was like,
I don't think Betty is a good person, like interpersonally to other people.
Sure.
I just don't.
We talked about that in The Good Place,
but
because you have a rough upbringing.
But right, yeah, you have there's a reason that she is the way that she is, but it doesn't excuse your behavior.
Not at all.
Prisons are full of people that have reasons for the way that they are.
Exactly.
But that doesn't mean it's like, well, no prisons. No, remember Crazy Ex-Girlfriend? Nothing's your fault.
Nothing's your fault.
Right.
It's your parents' fault.
Yeah, but we should go and get rolling here.
When I hop into this, we are on episode 7, right?
I think so.
Okay, well, we'll hop into this. Anyways, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you might hit this like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we have coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page, where you see all sorts of content over there. We're at least 4 episodes ahead over there from where we are here, so when you're done with this on YouTube, you can jump over to Patreon and catch the next 4. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive. It just started The Good Place, and that should do it. You'll have to stream and watch along on your own device or streaming service. We're on Hulu. That's a good Hulu. We're on AMC Plus. That's a good way to go. All right. We're going to get started here in 3, 2, 1. I don't know where we are.
I know. It's like some kind of hostel or dormitory. Glenn!
Oh, it's Glenn.
Who you talking to?
Your sister. Just figuring out when we can ball.
Oh my God, Glenn.
Myself. Oh,
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
You insist on carrying.
Is she going to blame Sally because she tripped on the phone cord?
110%.
Yeah.
This is my book. I make an excuse of New York to try and publish again.
Megan's excited about it.
Megan's dad.
A beautiful Dover soul. And I want you to be on vacation.
Formidable.
Are they gonna see that Don is the worst?
That's a really good question. I think Don usually does a good job of selling it though around other people.
He does, but parents can kind of cut
Right.
through the BS sometimes.
I see. She's convinced you that she's particular. I'm the proof she is not.
That's funny.
I also got the idea that her parents don't like each other very much.
It sounds like it.
Hello?
We're in here.
Hey, Sally.
So
Yeah.
yep, they're the kiddos.
Sally, Bobby.
I can't get over new Bobby. I miss the old Bobby.
Apparently, there are several of them.
I know, yeah.
Sally, you want to tell them what happened?
She tripped over one of Jean's toys.
Oh no.
Sally called the police, who called an ambulance, and while they were waiting,
She lied.
We had a long voyage. Night, everyone.
No dinner?
Good night, animals.
Let me just make sure Mom got settled in.
You're gonna go back and be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm
Mom?"
trying to read this.
Yeah. There's some. Don's the only one that seems completely innocent of the tension in the
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
He's just chilling,
They don't like that they have. She has kids, stepkids. Like I don't understand.
right?
Well, I just think she's unhappy in her marriage, probably, and then I'm wondering if Megan's gonna see that and be like, "I don't want that life."
Maybe. She also just might be hard to impress.
Sure.
About being alive.
Sure.
kids want beans, and they have forever.
Oh. I had something like Heinz
I
beans.
think he's not on the account.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah, she got
sure.
fired. Yeah.
Jesus, I think that's
So
better.
Ginsburg's doing the writing. Yeah.
Megan's got it, man.
Yeah, she's got
good.
it. Yeah.
I'm gonna need both of you on charrette. We're changing Heinz.
It's gonna cause some problems, though.
Yeah.
He's giving his wife all the.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She had a good idea.
We saw it on Tuesday. You did? Yeah, we came in a couple days early.
We went to another meeting.
Pitch it.
Yeah.
Pitch the idea.
Raymond, would you order me a Sanka? I'm gonna freshen up.
You need to drag them back to the office now.
I don't see why not just pitch it now.
Right.
Like, hey, we got this
He
great idea.
definitely went to another meeting. Is why what that was. Yeah.
He didn't want to go to dinner. He just wanted to do it in your office. He's a good man, I swear.
It is the ending the account. Yep.
I'm just saying, I hope we can continue to be friends.
Oh my God! It's already cited. Oh, this is a big account that got blown. It kind of goes back to him not being there when Peggy made the
Megan
pitch.
needs to tell him.
Yeah. Megan needs to do something here. This is
Like,
awkward.
Don, can I talk to you for a second?
Right.
Getting fired.
Good.
Yeah. She did that really well too, really smoothly.
She's can be a good team.
Yeah. Megan's not dumb.
No.
No, Don jokes about having a house full of people, but he loves it. Don,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
tell him about last night.
Yeah, pitch it. Pitch it.
Pitch it now.
Oh,
Megan just teed him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Megan, her mother, and my 12-year-old Sally.
Sally won't eat anything, as you might imagine.
Except beans, of course.
Ken, shut up.
Never had any worries about that.
You should have seen it. Megan bringing the pot in, spooning them out on the plate.
Good.
Actually, I didn't know if I'd done something wrong because Don was staring at us. But apparently I'd
Let's see if this
given him
works.
this idea.
She's so good.
You sure you want to talk about this now? Let him.
Ken? Why not?
That was a good. That was a good. Shut up, Ken lies. Yeah. Yeah.
Would it all be the same mother and child?
We hadn't thought.
Tell him the rest of it.
That's so good.
Wow. He's so good.
Heinz beans. Some things never change.
Can I get some more coffee?
Sold.
Let me think about it. See the pictures.
Raymond, really? It's beautiful. And it's exactly.
Yeah. Let's see if that worked.
It did. Megan just saved the day.
Should we change that Sauterne to champagne?
I think Megan might have just saved the day.
Why the hell not?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Megan for the major win
You
there.
have the best wife
Yeah,
of
no
all
kidding.
time.
She is smart.
They're a great team with it.
Oh, that was so good. That scene was so good.
We're getting fired. I love that. The way they handled that.
Yeah.
Perfect. That was awesome.
That was great.
That's why this show is incredible.
Yeah. That was so subtle and well done. I love how like the look Dawn gave Kenny when Ken was like, "You sure you want to do this now?" He's like, "I'll kill you."
Shut up, Jen.
But I look at you and I feel like, I don't know, I'm getting to experience my first time again.
Ooh, wow.
It's a good day for me.
Oh, so nice.
It
This
is.
is as good as this job gets.
This might not actually be a selling point for Megan. Just look at her
You're
face.
right.
I don't think she
Well,
wants to be
There's
Peggy.
Some kind of discontent.
Yeah.
There,
I don't think this is what she really wants, even
No.
if she's good at it.
No.
Yeah, even Peggy picked up on that.
They all look so dapper.
They do.
Oh.
She was cute. Don had that "oh crap, my daughter's growing up"
I know.
face right there.
That's
Yeah,
so funny we
yeah,
reached that point.
Yeah.
I love. It's a special moment though. The kids are involved now. Like that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Told me all about your dinner. She's a natural.
She doesn't want to hear that.
No, she's definitely just wanted. I don't think she wants to be in advertising.
Who's he?
His name is Ed.
But she doesn't want to be grouped. She doesn't want to be grouped in with these people.
No,
She already holds.
She's
them in
already
the
said
same-
that. Yeah. She already thinks they're awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they probably don't want to wreck the speeches.
You're right with the speeches.
You're a mean drunk, you know that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They're hooking up.
They just gonna hook up right here at
I
this event.
don't know.
Kind
It's
of like
gonna happen.
Betty did at that bar that one time
Yeah.
in the coat room.
Yeah. It's gonna happen though.
At some point, yeah.
We should have everything we want.
Oh.
I'm going to the ladies' room.
Roger is smooth.
He is.
Do you ever at like a wedding or a reception that be the one person at the table? It feels so awkward.
It is.
Everyone
yeah.
else is up in the food
Yeah.
line or something. It's like I'm alone at this giant table. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, your date's over, Sally.
Excuse me.
That'd be horrifying to see as a child.
As a child, yeah.
This nice old man that was your date.
Yeah. This is awkward now. Look at everyone coming back. Everyone at the table's upset now.
Brilliant.
Yeah, look at that. The whole lineup. And Sally's going to come in too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure Roger's gonna come down.
The only one, well, I bet he
Maybe,
won't because
maybe.
he's the only one in a
Sure,
good
sure,
mood. It's just the sad people.
She looks horrified.
They all are. Yeah, exactly. Roger doesn't fit this group. These
This
people
is
are all
an
miserable.
incredible moment of TV.
It is,
Look at
yeah.
that shot.
Like the Last Supper.
That was very Coppola.
Yeah.
That was a very good. That was very well done.
How's the city?
Dirty.
Yeah. That's the last line of the
What
show.
a great last line. What a great
Wow.
episode that was.
Dirty. Okay. This might be the best episode of the season so far.
That was rock solid from start to finish all the way through.
One of the major themes of the episode. I want to talk about Peggy's mom real quick because I think it does tie into the rest of them, especially Megan's father,
Right.
wanting more for your children because you're kind of projecting yourself.
For sure.
You know, like you said, let me tell you something. My aunt used to tell me, or your aunt
Yeah.
used to tell me, get a new cat every 13 years.
Every 13 years
You know,
until you're done. Yeah.
keep chasing the unattainable, I guess. There is this like certain discontent with the older generation in this show. I think even Roger, we've seen Roger have discontent before.
Well, he's just in a weird place right now because
Right now it's
he's riding a weird emotional
Sure.
high from the last episode.
Right now it's different, obviously.
Right.
You know,
But for the most part, he's an unhappy person for sure.
absolutely. And you know, I get it. I get wanting more for your children, but you put these unrealistic expectations on them, and it's like they're never going to be people. Then
Right.
they're always going to be chasing something. Her parents. So definitely, I think that Megan's mood is certainly affected by her father. Then because he is this kind of guy, you know.
Right.
And Megan doesn't want to be a copyright. You're right. She wants something more. She came to be an actress. She came to be a model, and now she's a copyright. Now she's arm candy for Don.
Sure.
And we've seen them at their worst, and we've seen them at their best. And I think that she's kind of seeing how her parents act with one another and how unhappy they are, and that's probably informing some of it as well.
Yeah. It's because it's not what she wants to do.
Yeah.
I kind of disagree on the arm candy thing. I think the arm candy thing didn't bother her. I think it's the fact that being more than that bothers her.
You think so?
I think the reality check came when, Peggy saying, you're going to do this, and everyone's saying, you did a great job with this, and that's not like, you're going to follow Peggy's path and be a successful ad man. I think that bothers her more than the arm candy thing does.
And she doesn't want to, like I said earlier, she does not like these people.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't want to be one of them. Yeah, for sure.
So okay, I get that.
I think she'd be fine showing up at dinners every once in a while and smiling and laughing at Don's jokes, but the idea of being successful in that job seems pretty gross to her.
Involved in this kind of deceit,
right? Yeah. I mean, just the job in general, it's not for her. She wants something different.
Even Pete summed up what the job is very well
for him. Yeah,
for him, for a lot of them there at the office,
right? Yeah. Well, I mean, he's an account man.
Yeah.
He, Roger, and Ken are just kind of there to schmooze clients, right? They're not there to really pitch ideas. And Megan's in the creative department and doesn't want to be. I feel like,
which is interesting because she wanted to be an actress, and that's creative. I mean, like I feel like, sure, as a creative, to feel stifled like that, I mean, that must be, you must feel trapping, I guess. But at the same time, you're having some success.
No, she's definitely having success. She's demonstrated she's got the skills. The problem is she's learned she's gotten the skills for something she doesn't want to have the skills for.
Exactly.
I kind of feel like it's like I'm walking down a path where I'm kind of going to be locked here, and it's like,
back to the line, spread your wings.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like that we saw this is a generational thing
for sure.
That is one of the huge themes of the show, not just the season, is what is passed down through generations.
Including like the world-shattering disappointment.
Yeah,
Don got it at the same time his daughter got it. At the same time, Megan got it. Everyone's just kind of at the same time that Peggy's getting it from her mom.
Yeah.
Everyone's realizing it's like, oh, so here's what the hope that I was feeling about the world just got slammed in my face.
Yeah,
hard, and now I don't really know where I fit in this whole thing.
And what a brilliant set! They're at this award ceremony celebrating, and you just have the four of them miserable.
Five of them. When she comes back, you get that lineup of the last shot of all of them just kind of like realizing that the world isn't what they want it to be.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it was great.
The way they handled it was really well.
Everyone ended up in the same place, which is why I really like the decision not to have Roger come back to the table. He's feeling fine about things. So he didn't fit in with that group at all.
It was like I said, that last, not the last shot, but like the shot of the
there, right? Yeah,
into the dissolve was very Coppola-esque.
It was. It very much was. Right.
With the music in the background, it's reminiscent of in Godfather 2, right before the intermission.
Yeah,
when you see the four of them on the steps.
Yep,
I loved it. I thought that was brilliant, and I mean, pretty focused up episode. It wasn't like all over the place. It was like this main storyline. We had Pete drop in for a second. I think the beans idea is brilliant too.
Sure, it is.
How that really does highlight the rest of the theme of the show. It's all about the future.
It's all about and
the past and what has been.
Everything repeats itself. Time is a flat circle, right? There is no great hope at the end. It's all circular. It's all cyclical.
It's like how I don't understand how we can watch the show and not like it.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's so good. Matthew Weiner as well. I mean, I know a lot of folks on Patreon have said this is kind of his peak. He hasn't really done anything
of note since Mad Men.
Yes, and it's like, man, imagine pouring all your ideas into one show, and this is it. Because I would love to watch a movie that he has done, or another show, because
he definitely has the chops to go back and do something else.
I hope so. In 5-10 years, man, would not be surprised if he rolls out something new.
He also might have like worked to death on this and is like, what I'm going to do? Take a real break.
Can't fault him. He created a masterpiece.
Yeah, this is a masterpiece.
You can retire.
Sure. I used to, a year ago, people ask, like, you think of that character, the anti-hero character, like, who's the best one? And a year ago, I would have said, well, it's probably Saul Goodman just barely edging out Walter White, from the, both from the Vince Gilligan universe.
Yeah.
But I have to say now, I feel like Don Draper is a much more interesting character, even than those two. And I love those two. Those are all-time great shows, but I feel like this just taps into something a little bit more universal and a little bit stronger.
And it's
about a uniquely American experience.
slightly more realistic too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I mean, like, I love Breaking Bad. I love Better Call Saul so much.
Yeah.
Shout out to AMC. But at the same time, it's like what this show can do and make you feel, and it's as captivating as those shows. And there's like no violence in it.
Can you imagine that AMC had no television shows, and then wham, they had these two at the same time? You want to talk about coming out of the gate swinging like rock stars?
They're kind of back to square one now because I think obviously all three of those shows are over now. So
right,
and The Walking Dead.
Right. We should react to all of the Walking Dead content. It would take us like 15 years.
By the end of it, we might look like zombies.
Exactly. Like, well, I don't even remember how the show started.
Yeah, what's Daryl up to?
Right, but yeah, no, this was a really good follow up to the last episode too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of nuance going on here. I'm kind of curious to see how everybody, because everyone's in kind of a dark place here,
yeah,
and Roger's in a falsely elevated place. So I feel like
he's riding the high.
It's right, exactly, and I feel like how do all these main characters dig their way out of this slump that they just found themselves very much in, and conversely, what does Roger's kind of fall off of his high kind of feel like? Because both of those things are going to happen. Don's going to have to find a way. Sally's going to have to find a way. Megan's going to have to find a way to move forward in this like crisis. They seem to all have found this reality crisis they found themselves in here, and what's going to get Roger down from this? Like, I understand the universe and people so much better now, which maybe he thinks he does, but that's not a permanent. The trip was not a permanent solution to his problems.
I wonder if it's going to be like when reality sets in and he does get a client or something, and it doesn't go the way that he planned it to.
Yeah, I don't know what moving forward for any of these guys looks like, but I really feel like we're kind of at the midway point of the season to kind of get a sense of what we're going to be looking at after that. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Because this is the midway point. So, I mean, something big is going to happen. I mean, I do agree with TV Guide in saying that like this season might be the best, but I feel like it's going to take something big to happen too to really set it over the edge, because last season had huge moments in it. You know?
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, like I feel like there are big things coming in the second half of the season, and I can't wait to see them because this show's utterly brilliant.
I love it.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys.
See ya.